Yes, there is a dog in the Game Master seat. She does this all the time, people. Welcome back to actually part one of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. Me and Shona. I told you she might make a cameo from time to time.
That's because she likes to steal your seat. Oh, she's in the bed.
If I get up, she will take my seat.
Well,
And whatever she says goes. Alright, so the background information for you, since if you watched the introductionary one, Cherie, the only player for the D&D 5th edition Lost Mines of Phandelver, is playing a dragonborn druid by the name of Kieran.
Kieran.
Now,
Male dragonborn.
near the north, where
Boy.
it's usually fairly cold, there's a city called Neverwinter. It's the main port city. And the reason why it's called Neverwinter has not, at least to your knowledge, truly been known. But from your limited knowledge of nature, there's obviously something warm under the city. The reason why, it does snow. It's just the snow never lasts. It melts at an exponentially increased speed. So you'll get a snowfall. If it's an average level of snow, it's gone in a few hours to the by the next morning. If you get a snowstorm, it's gone in a day or so. The reason for this has not been known to you. Now, it'll snow in the surrounding areas, such as where your character calls home for your Druid Grove, which is the Neverwinter Wood. Now, directly north of the Neverwinter Wood is Mount Hotenow. It's a small mountainous region, as you can see here.
Give me a second, I ask how to spell that.
H-O-T-E and then N-O-W.
Okay.
Neverwinter Wood has a massive stream that permeates it, as you can see here. To the east, there's a area here called the Star Metal Hills. Your character has not ventured much beyond your initial woodland realm due to the fact that you're first level. So your character might have gone outside of the wooded realm of the Druid's woods once in a while, as with all young adults and teenagers, on dares, being bad, but that's all up for you to decide how far you would have gone, how long you would have stayed away for, things like that. To the south,
he probably has a secret cave up there due to the fact he's a dragon and it says metal. So, shiny horde, yay.
Yeah. Now to the south, there's more hills, but your character has never gone close to them.
Never breached that point.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give you those names unless you in-game go and seek them out. But you know there's more hills and settlements to the south. Your character does know that your Druid Grove does have frequent dealings with Neverwinter. The reason for this is your entire childhood growing up, you do see occasional merchants and militiamen coming from Neverwinter into the woods to deal with some of the druids and even the Archdruid that runs the Neverwinter Wood.
Neverwinter Wood is above Neverwinter itself?
It's to the east and above it. See,
Okay.
here's Neverwinter. The woods descend south of it and north of it.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
There's an outpost, a set of ruins called Thundertree, just outside of your woodland realm.
Not. How big is Neverwinter?
It's huge. It's a metropolis. So it houses 20 to 30,000 people. Bustling with life. Being the fact you're a druid, you've never been there. Again, you're level 1. So you haven't really gone out venturing much. There would be the occasional rumblings and stirrings from the other druids in the area that have gone there before for missions or just because they're adults and they frequently go back and forth. It's a big, bustling city.
And where is the hills?
Starmill Hills are right here, east of the Neverwinter Wood. Now, your Druid Grove, at least the settlement of the Druid Grove that your character resides in most of the time is here. See where the mouse is?
Yeah, near the creek.
Near this stream?
River. That'd be a river given the size.
Yeah. That's where your area is. That you're
in that little fork.
Yeah, and that area right here is where your druidic grove is for your family, your kin, and where you got trained. There's other small encampments of the druids, and their main grove you don't know where it is because that's only meant for the arc druids and the high level druids. That secret druidic grove that even your character has no clue about. You know it's here somewheres. You just don't have a fucking clue where because you're not powerful enough.
Or if I have stumbled across it, I haven't registered what it is.
Exactly. But you grew up here.
Did I literally grow up on the wrong side of the river, Joe?
Yeah.
You're weird.
It's summertime, but due to the fact that you are up in the northern area of the continent, it is always somewhat cold. This day is no different than the others. Clear day, but only pushing around 10 degrees. So
And Hotna is
it's a mountain, a small range of mountains.
Sorry, I'm being a pest.
That is not being a pest. You're making notes and writing information down. I'm fine with that.
Hotna's beneath?
It's above Neverwinter. See? Neverwinter is here.
Yeah.
Neverwinter Wood is here. Mount Hotna.
So it's west of where my thing is.
Yeah, it's a little bit west and north. And there will be downtime of silence here, people. Cherie does have a tendency to make excessive amounts of notes,
I'm sorry.
but it always is beneficial. Now, being that it's a druid grove, the druids among here are of mixed races, humans, wood elves, and the occasional odd race, such as
Me.
a dragonborn.
Me.
Are you ready?
And this is what time of year?
Summer.
Are you giving me a day?
I'm not giving you a date for my calendar because these are just one shots. I am starting it in summer. Like I said, summer, but despite that, you're very, very far north. So it's a clear day, but still only pushing 10 degrees because you're in a very cold area. Go south a bit, and you'll end up in some better weather, but not where you are.
You may want to specify as 10 degrees Celsius, because there could be Americans watching this, in which case they think we're freezing our nuts off.
Oh, right, 10 degrees Celsius. Anytime you hear me give a temperature on the days, it'll always be in Celsius. And I have no idea how much that is in Fahrenheit. That apparently is 53 degrees Fahrenheit.
I don't know, the only thing I know that's common between Celsius and Fahrenheit is -40 is the same. A weird number to choose to be the same, I know.
I know, it's odd, but eh.
If you say 0 to somebody that is Fahrenheit, they're like, oh my fucking god. But, you know, as Canadians, we're like, hey, it's 0, what is with the, just 0 outside. Okay, short weather, yay! Okay, I'm sorry. You know all of us have at some point been too lazy to put on pants and just trek through the snow to the garbage can and go, fuck it.
I do it every winter.
You were shoveling in a t-shirt this winter. Past.
So, for you, where the game starts is pretty simple. Average everyday day. Nothing out of the ordinary. During the average day, despite the fact your character has now done your studies and you are a graduated first level druid, you have your gear, including your family's lineage, i.e., your scimitar.
My living metal scimitar.
Your living metal scimitar. As a asterisk, the living metal is a special metal that I am transporting over from 3rd edition. If the metal takes damage,
It heals itself.
it automatically repairs itself. So being that it's in a scimitar, it's partially alive. And all those little nicks and dents that you would get from parrying blade to blade with a scimitar or any other bladed weapon,
Or hitting
those little things will slowly repair itself over a day's period. It is a lineage from her character's background and birthrights, I guess you could say. And because of what the weapon means to you, I can imagine you would pretty much do anything you can to make sure you never fucking lose it.
Yep. They're not exactly the easiest things to fucking come by.
Or to extract.
Remember when Tara tried to break off a piece? Old gaming stories.
Yeah. The only thing that makes this day slightly out of the ordinary as opposed to the rest of the days that have followed since you've mastered first grade magics and can be technically classified as a full-fledged druid, mind you, a first level one, but no longer in training, which is the important part.
So I'm assuming it'd be like the equivalent of the summer equinox or something to that effect that I would have graduated and be, druid yet.
Yeah. A little bit more money if you can. One of your colleagues, friends, classmates, they trained with you for being a druid. And they, like you, have just recently graduated and are classified as a full-fledged druid. You can actually hear them coming up through the woods towards you. It's an elf. His name is Elcan.
Can I spell that?
Elcan. As he lands on a branch of a tree not far from you, that's the tip-off. The loud squeaking and cracking of the tree's branch.
It's fucking cold, that's why.
You know, he's decently good at being stealthy when he wants to be. He just has no reason to be at the moment. Kieran.
What is the time to play? Hit the elf off the tree?
I'd rather if you didn't. Drops down on the side, on the grounds next to you, purposely trying to not make much noise, at which point he succeeds quite nicely with a 15 plus his dex, so 18 plus the 2 proficiency, 20. So you don't even hear him land. You see him land, but you don't hear him land. You've been summoned. You're special.
Jokingly punch him. Because obviously, being a dragon, I don't want to make the mistake of going, bang! Oh shit, I killed my friend.
You've been summoned. Vapotor wants to see you. Vapotor, you know, he's not the Arc Druid, but he was in charge of training you guys, overseeing your regiments, teaching you the necessary skills.
What?
Vapotor. Vapetor. He's a human druid. You know he has mastery all the way up to 5th level magic. Now, in the old 3rd edition, that's not overly impressive, but in 5th edition D&D, that is impressive.
Explain.
5th edition D&D, the experience table is different, so making it up to being able to cast 5th level magic requires a lot more experience, a lot harder to come by because it's a little bit easier to die.
So 5th level magic is the equivalent of what level?
Think of it as the equivalent in prestige as making it to 7th level magic in 3rd edition.
Okay.
So talented, definitely capable, and not to be messed with if you value your life, because he'll probably put you down in a heartbeat.
Yeah, gee, thanks. I'm an animal. I know. I can be put down, Joe.
He is overall same as before with third edition. He's ninth level. He has wild shape. He is a very, very good combatant. He's been around for a bit. He's not too much older than you. He doesn't go out and actively adventure all the time.
I don't have wild shape at this point.
No, you gain wild shape at 8th level. The wild shape is gained at 4th level.
I was gonna say, I don't remember being that
No,
bad.
those are wild shape improvements. My bad. Wild shape is 2nd level. And then 2 wild shape improvements at 4th level and 8th level.
So next level I get wild shape.
Yeah. It just starts off with standard beasts, just like always. But Elcan looks at you and goes,
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Vapotor has summoned you. You're special. 10 to 1 has got something to do with the dwarf that came through this morning.
There was a dwarf, I wasn't paying attention.
It's not hard. It's easy to overlook them. Yeah, there was a dwarf and some human came in this morning. Merchants from the look of the dwarf. Some type of warrior or combatant. Probably his bodyguard for the human. They
Was
came.
he just protecting his dick and his knees?
No idea. But they came in, went to talk to Vapotor. So they want to summon you. I was told to find you. 10 to 1 has got something to do with them. He wants you to go now. So sooner the better.
Which way is he now?
He's by the creek in the grove.
By the fork?
Yeah, the grove where we train.
Gotcha. Are you coming or are you staying?
I was not summoned, oh prestigious one, so I shall be staying. But I'm not staying much longer.
I'm kicking the tree and knocking snow on him.
Bloody hell. He throws a bunch of leaves and dead leaves and branches at you.
I'm stealing the branches and sticking them in my backpack. And then booking it.
I don't want to get in shit because you didn't show up on time. It doesn't take you very long to actually get to the grove. You know the woods. You know the way there. It's easy. When you get to the grove, it is very, very nice and tranquil in the grove. Same as always. It's a small, cleared out area. It's got old tree stumps from fallen trees that you can use for actually sitting down and resting. It has one stone throne. I say it's a throne because it's just a hunk of stone, but it's been molded through druidic magic into the shape of a very comfortable chair. That's where your teacher would normally sit. But it has upwards to a dozen other tree stumps that can be used as chairs. The creek behind it, constantly flowing with fresh water. Cold, especially this time of year.
Yeah, although it wouldn't be frozen because it's
No,
10 degrees.
it's still early summer, so it'll warm up a little bit as the days go on. But you're fine for now if you want to drink it. It'd just be cold as hell.
1 second. I only have warm water skin, so I'm comfortable with the damn thing.
When you get in there, you can see Vapotor, the human. He looks to be appropriate age for 5th edition D&D. Mid to late 20s. Long, bushy beard, long hair.
You wrote pouch.
Pooch.
And it came out poacher.
Yeah, I fucked up. No big deal. And whenever you get in there, you do see a human dressed up in armor. Not overly fancy armor, but fancy enough. Chainmail.
Fitted chainmail or bulk chainmail?
Bulk chainmail just fitted to him with a belt. Shield on his back, long sword on his side, and you can see the tip of a quiver coming up from behind the shield, but no bow. The bow to your side is attached to the horse that has been tied off to one of the trees. And next to the horse is a cute little pony for the itty bitty little dwarf. The dwarf, you see, is typical red haired, long beard. Beard's actually braided all the way down and tucked into his belt.
God, I don't want to know what that braid leads to.
The dwarf doesn't look that old. In human years, the dwarf would be no older than 30. So he looks still kind of young, doesn't have a lot of wrinkles. Despite the fact that it's a little bit difficult to see how many wrinkles would be on a dwarf's face, considering the bushy eyebrows, the big thick head of hair, the giant ass beard.
So like you with a little more hair?
Thanks. Yes, I'm balding. But he doesn't wear armor. He has on his side no obvious weapons, except he does have a very elegant set of what looks like twisted bronze silverware on his side. A two-pronged fork, a spoon, and a knife.
A two-pronged fork.
Yeah, a bident fork. An obvious
carving fork, basically.
Yeah, an obvious dagger on his boot, but no obvious actual weapons to signify he's anything other than what the rings on his fingers and the tunic that he wears says, which is merchant.
Or at very least, some sort of nobleman.
A low-end nobleman, possibly, but more akin to a merchant, just from the way he's dressed.
Color is his tunic?
It's reddish, for the most part, highlighted with some blacks. Nothing elaborate, no silvers, no golds. Wooden tassels to tie it all off with.
You mean buttons?
Sorry, wooden toggles to
I was gonna say, how the hell do you
tie it
get a
off
wood
with.
tassel?
Oh, bite me. Once you get there, Vapotor will look at you. Kieran, make good time getting here.
Well, Alcan was relatively quick finding me, although he makes more noise than a wildebeest, but,
When he's not trying to be stealthy, he can make quite a bit of a ruckus. Sit.
Sits.
Kieran, this is Gundren. Points over to the dwarf. He nods at you. Gundren, at your service. The human next to him is his bodyguard and friend, Sildar. Sildar just looks over at you. Doesn't look that old. Early 20s at best.
Gundrin?
Gundren.
Oh, E-N.
Gundren.
Oh, you said Drin. So, Lord knows what you say when you say Drin.
And Sildar is Sildar. Just looks over at you, nods his head. Gundren, Sildar, this is Kieran.
Nod. Under my hood.
It's all fine and dandy, but I would like to get on with it. I am running a bit behind, you hear from Gundren. Sildar leans over, and you can have patience. We need their approval if you want the shit to get to where it needs to go. Well, then, can you get on with it? You hear from Sildar, yes, get on with it if you can, please. My dwarven friend is quite impatient. The dwarf looks unnerved being in the woods. Obviously, dwarves, elves don't get along very well. Dwarves like mountains, not woods.
And dragons usually don't like dwarves.
And dragons tend to not like dwarves.
Or elves. Or anything.
Vapotor looks over at you. To the south of here, Kieran, there's a small townstead called Phandelver.
Phandelver?
Phandelver. Phandalin.
Phandalin?
Yeah, Phandalin. Now, you know, I'm sure, and you may have even snuck out there once or twice with your friends. Neverwinter is west of here, the city.
Oh, southwest. But yes, I know what you mean.
Merchants, such as Gundren here, have a deal with us. If they're transporting anything more than 2 wagons in our realm, they need our permission. Our permission extending to nothing more than making sure they do as little damage to nature as possible. Now, Gundren is transporting 4 wagons from Neverwinter to Phandelver. As such, one of our druids must be sent with the wagon lord, or wagon load, to make sure that they do as minimum damage as they can to the surrounding area, i.e., no hunting, no hunting unless it's necessary. Making sure not to take more than they need. You can't always trust merchants as well as standard soldiers and militiamen as guards. Now, we don't get anything out of this. It's just if they wish to transport, and if they don't want us hindering them, they come to us. So, I am sending you for this. And you will be paid because Gundren is paying for guards of his services. Now, I think he's paying you, how much was it again? 10 gold. You get 10 gold along with the other ones. 5 now, the other 5 when you get to Phendelin and to drop it off to Barthen's. Barthen is the man that I'm making the deal with. I'm sending him the provisions. So when you get to Phendelin, you need to drop it off at Barthen's provisions.
And you're not going to be staying with the wagons?
Sildar and myself are heading out. We're riding ahead. I got other errands I have to get taken care of. That's the reason why I'm sending guards with it. Sildar leans over. More pressing business. Unfortunately, the timetable does not allow for us to have them both happen at the same time. So, Gundren and myself are heading to get other business taken care of.
What are you transporting?
All sorts of normal things. Pots, pans, rations, skins, hides, meats, salt, spices.
Why did you use the qualifier normal?
Because that is normal. It's standard provisions. Nothing fancy in any of it.
Except the salt.
Except salt.
Spices. You
So,
shipping off more brass two-tined silverware?
die. You hear from Vapotor. So, what I'm doing is, he's giving you 5 gold.
Gotcha.
You have your gear that you've acquired over the last few years. And I'm sending you to Neverwinter. Once you get to Neverwinter, you'll be able to find his wagons and the other people that he's hired to transport them down to Phandelver. Now, once you get there, the choice is yours. You can either leave for Phandelver once you arrive, depending upon how much time it takes you to get there and the time of day you arrive at, or you can leave the next morning. The Trader's Arm Inn is where you'll find the wagons and the other men. The Trader's Arm Inn knows that you're coming and has already been paid by Gundren for 1 night stay and 1 meal. So if you don't make good time, and you can't leave the day you get there, your payment and food has already been processed for 1 night. And you leave in the morning. As for who the other people are, I don't know. You hear from Sildar. There's 4 others. We have a very typical loadout for protection. I hired a soldier that I worked with on one campaign, an elvish archer, and 2 casters.
So, human, elf, archer,
Yeah.
2 casters.
Bazant.
Give me 1 second. I just have to catch up a smidge. Apologies. What's the name of the guy that I need to give the stuff to? Beltar?
Barthen's Provisions. That's the store you need to go to once you get to Phandelver. At which point you'll get the other half of your money.
The human was a fighter of some degree?
The fighter, or the human that he hired?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a soldier. And an elvish archer. And he just said 2 casters. The soldier, his name is Bazant. I worked with him on a campaign. He's got skill. He is good and can be trusted.
Okay.
I don't know much about the elvish archer. His name is Crython. Crithon. That's a better eraser. His name is Crython. I don't know much about him, other than he's very good and very talented with a bow.
I hope he'd be talented with a bow.
I have not seen him. I did not hire him directly. Bazant wears ring mail. That's how you'll identify him. He has a large square shield.
Who does?
Bazant, my old friend. Crython, I have no idea how to identify him. I know he's talented. I know he's an elf. That's all I know. As for the casters, one is a tiefling, so he'll stand out like a sore thumb. Although, you being a dragonborn, should be easy for you to spot him. He's a warlock. The other, he's a human wizard. I met with him as well. He's young. Don't think he's even seen one campaign yet. Wears a hood, like you. Tends towards blacks and blues. You should be able to identify him with that. His name is Chasen, and the tiefling's name is Tybalt.
I was totally brain burnt on the information you gave me. Jason is human?
Human wizard.
And wizard.
Human wizard. And Tybalt is the tiefling warlock. Crython is the elvish archer,
Got that one.
and then Bazant is the human soldier.
Sorry, I was fussing. This eraser doesn't fit snug. I didn't want to tip and...
Yeah. That's fine.
Alright. I think I've got it all. So many names.
Yep, I will bombard you with names. You've been gaming with me for years, you know that.
Well, I write them down because if I don't remember a name, you go, well, you're screwed. Good fun finding your in. You dick.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I give names. Vector looks over at you. Gundren and Sildar are going to be leaving here in a moment. Now that they've met with you, and you know what your task is. Kieran, once you get the wagons to Phandelver, the choice is up to you whether you come back. Your training is done. There's more I can teach you, obviously, and should you stay, I will happily do so. However, I highly recommend learning in the wilds for yourself. That way, instead of just learning what I know and having two people with the same knowledge in the world, versatility makes the forest stronger. You know this. If you wish to go out and have a few adventures before returning, you're more than well welcome to. In fact, I even indulge you to do so. Lord knows I did. And you come from an entire family of adventurers. Last thing you want to do is let down your parents.
No. Oh.
They were adventurers for a good 10 years before they settled.
Making this easy.
In fact, I still remember stories that your mom told me.
I'm looking at the dwarf. If you want to get going, you may as well go now because he's not going to stop talking.
Then we'll take our leave. Last thing I need to hear is about some egg hatching in the middle of a war.
You want me protecting your stuff, right?
Aye.
Don't piss off the egg.
I thought that's how you guys were born.
Not always.
He goes over and starts undoing the tethering of his pony. Sildar walks past you, puts his hand on your shoulder, passes a pouch out towards you. Your 5 gold.
That's right in my pre-existing pouch.
The first half of your payment. Barthen's provisions will give you the other 5 when you arrive. We're riding ahead. Personally, I'm hoping that we'll be there in Phandelver to greet you when you arrive. But if we're not, that's why you were told to go to Barthen's.
Why wouldn't you be there?
Time. We might not be done dealing with the other business by then.
Gotcha.
We're expected to be either a day early or a day late. So that's why Gundren set up with Barthen to drop the stuff off directly. Depends upon if the weather holds. She looks cute. She's all half unconscious.
Oh, completely unconscious. She's been snoring for the past 20 minutes.
Little no chin. Little no chin.
Alright, so am I taking off now?
Is your character going to gather up the rest of your shit and then head out towards Neverwinter? Or are you going to wait till the next morning to do so? It's still early. It's only about 11 a.m.
I'm going to take off now so I don't have to rush. And I'm going to say goodbye to... What's his face?
Alcan?
Yes.
He's in a tree.
I'm jabbing his ass with my quarterstaff.
Did you find Vapotor?
Yeah, I'm heading out.
He sent you on a mission.
Yeah?
He sits on the branch. Where are you going?
Neverwinter, and then...
Shut
up.
I know having a small muzzle kind of makes you have a little bit of a lisp, but...
Fandrin. I'm going to Fandrin.
Phandelver?
Phandelver. I'm going to Phandelver. Shut up.
I'm hanging around for a couple more weeks and then I'm taking off. I'm heading down to Waterdeep whenever I leave. Always adventure there. Hell of a journey though, so It'll take me a while.
Then why don't you come with us?
I don't feel like leaving quite yet.
You just want to go bang the new druids, don't you?
They're young and impressionable.
You're terrible.
And I've already mastered cantrips and first grade, so I'm impressive to them.
Oh, what you gonna do? Bing! Look, my penis is alight.
At least I'll be able to see how deep I get.
You don't understand how. Wow, light doesn't work that way.
When you leaving? He hops down.
I'm like, another motion of the sun. Half hour.
Gives you a quick hug. Take care. We all know there's bandits in the area, so watch your back when you travel. Considering you have to go through the wilds to get to Neverwinter.
Exactly.
Stop at the ruins. It'll at least give you cover for the night.
Should be able to make it there if I'm a little further.
I suggest you stop at the ruins. Even if you only get there by supper and you still have a couple hours of daylight, at least you'll have cover.
I could be able to hunt something small there too. Wide open area, lots of crevices.
Meat is a hell of a lot better than a good berry.
Fuck yes.
Take care. When you're done your travels, head down to Waterdeep. We should meet up.
Okay.
By the time you're done whatever you're doing, go to Waterdeep. Give me a week when you get there, and we'll see if we meet up.
Where do you want to meet in Waterdeep?
I haven't a fucking clue. How about this? Follow the road south to Waterdeep.
And the
Once you get in, the first tavern on your right.
First tavern on the right. First tavern on the right. All right.
We'll meet at the first tavern on your right. How's that sound? I've never been there, so I don't know what the places are called.
If I have to leave for whatever reason,
leave a note.
I'll leave an oak branch outside so you know where I went and where there's a note.
Great. If I get there ahead of you, I'll wait a week.
Same thing.
Same thing. Branch. I'll leave an oak branch with the direction I'm heading. Deal. We'll see you in Waterdeep. Make sure to get as much tail between here and there as you can, since you don't have one.
Shut up! Bye.
See you later.
Sure.
May the gods bless your journeys.
With bountiful tail.
Lots of good weather, I was going to think. He just waves at you.
Incoming call.
Okay.
1 second.
1 second.
Hello? Gaming? Why, what's up? You okay? Oh, well, I'm in the middle of gaming. Yes. Okie dokies. Okay, bye. Sorry, I had to take it. I wasn't sure if Lily was still sick. She's okay, though.
That's good. So you're going to head out?
Yes.
You know from personal experience, it takes you approximately...
And what were the ruins called again? There's the one name I missed.
Thundertree.
How did I forget that?
I have no clue. It takes about 3 days for you to get out of the woods. And it's about another day to get to the Thundertree ruins. So it takes you about 4 days if you want to get to those ruins.
From where I am?
From where you are. Now, if you do it that way, it basically all depends upon your preference. Because if you want to get to the Thundertree ruins, so you actually have a place for cover, then when you're leaving, look up. When you're leaving, you have to go down and then over and then down, cross the stream, which is a pretty wide stream. It's a good old river, so each of these things is about 3 miles. So you're looking at a good couple 100 foot wide river. So that's going to be a challenge to get across, especially since you don't have wings. And then you'll get to the ruins. So you can go with that approach, or you can just go over, 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 down, and just make a beeline and not have to worry about crossing a giant ass river. Your character knows the difficulty in getting to this set of ruins would be crossing like a good 400 foot river without provisions to do so. Or you can just make a beeline for Neverwinter. The only difference is crossing the river.
Either way.
No, you don't. If you go straight here down to Neverwinter, you don't have to cross any river. Over, 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 down.
I'm gonna go down to the river to where the ruins are.
Okay.
And then follow the river, but not exactly, because I don't want to go.
But you're not going to cross the river to the ruins. So you're just going to go
I don't
down,
think so.
over, get to the river as fast as you can outside of the woods.
Yeah.
And then just follow it mostly straight.
Yeah.
From there.
Because I know that river curls. If I need to stop at the ruins for whatever reason, I will stop at the ruins.
But you're not going to automatically adjust yourself to try to cross that.
If bandits come at me, you bet your ass I'm gonna fucking cross that fucking river.
Okay. So the 3 days inside the Neverwinter Wood are going to be uneventful because the wood itself is safe. And as for the weather holds. It's cloudy, it's a little overcast, it's cool. There's no jumps in the temperature, there's no bad weather, there's no, issues happening within those first 3 days of travel because you're in the safety of the Druidic Wood. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those 3 days, I know that every night you swap out a spell for Goodberry, and then you cast Goodberry, so you have 10 berries to do you for 24 hours, and you use one of those berries for your food.
If I haven't found anything small that I could snag.
And
I'm
that's
sorry,
just
if a ground squirrel is stupid enough on the ground, yeah, I'm gonna fucking squish its head with my thingy and meat.
Yep.
Bird flies down low enough, I'm gonna swipe at it.
And because nothing's happening in those 3 days because you're in the safety of the wood, then every night you can still have the mana left over, or the magic left over to swap out a spell, put in Goodberry, and then thus cast it.
Can you see if I did manage to catch anything on my way?
That's up to you. What I need you to do is make a survival check. Congratulations, we are doing the very first actual roll, for you at least. So, look at your skills and see if you have a skill called survival.
You know I have a skill called survival.
Yep. Now, with that, take a look at it. It should already have your full bonus listed in there.
5.
So just roll a d20 and add the 5. 2 from your proficiency and 3 from your ability modifier.
That was a d12. I'm not taking that number.
You have to roll a d20. This is not the d12 system.
24.
24 is guaranteed that you would have found some form of meat to be able to sustain yourself with. The reason is a 30 is classified as nearly impossible, and even hard tasks are only a 15. So
I would have found like a hare or something.
You could easily have found hare, ground squirrels, chipmunks, anything that would not bolt the moment you got too close to it, like deer and elk and everything else.
Druid, it wouldn't necessarily bolt right away.
You could make an animal handling check if you were trying to get a hold of something like an elk or a deer. But those things are a little bit harder to take down without having a bow at your disposal.
Yeah, especially when I'm just chasing it like a barbaric dragon. With a freaking scimitar.
Waving a scimitar in the air, yeah.
Yeah, so, rabbit I can just, kind of hang in a tree and look down and be like, hey, look, it's eating. Slice.
Exactly. Drop on it, stab it with the scimitar, and keep moving. Now, after 3 days of travel...
How many did I catch? 2. Because hares usually travel in at least a pair.
Roll. Over 3 days, you can catch 3 of them.
Right.
And consume 1 of them. So you got 2 left available to you. The third
keeping the skins.
Okay. Then make a quick note somewhere that you have 3 hair skins, 3 hair hides. On the evening of the 3rd day is when you breach the wood. Now you can continue for a little bit more, but you know you're going to need about a full day's travel to get to the river. So you can stay and just make camp in the wood for that night and know you're safe, or you can risk traveling for a few more hours and get a little bit more.
I'm gonna hide just inside the woods.
Okay.
In the safety zone, but not stupid.
If you do that, then the night will go by uneventful, and you'll have no issues. And the one day to actually get to the river, again, weather holds. Only thing is it's a little bit more windy, a little bit more cold, but nothing dangerous or detrimental. And you can get to the river unhindered.
So day 2 to 5, travel, hunt, 3. Oops, that is a squiggle. 3 hairs. Eat 1 blueberry. Day 6. Breach.
And then you still have to travel along the river to Neverwinter. Going cross country always does slow you down a little bit due to the fact you're not traveling on major highways.
Mm-hmm. So day 7 is the day I'm out of the woods and heading towards the river.
Well, it takes you 3 days to get through the wood, 1 day to get to the river.
From breaching the woods?
3 days to get out of the woods, 1 day to go from the woods to the river, so that takes you 4 days to get to the river. I don't know how are you on day 7?
I'm including this as day 1.
Okay. And you're
day
looking
1
at...
Because you said 3 days you catch 3 hairs. Day 6 being I breached the woods and made it to river.
And you're looking at about another 5 days, roughly, to travel westbound to Neverwinter.
Okay. So just let me know what days happen to pass okay and what days I need to worry about.
The first day that you start traveling westbound towards Neverwinter is fine. It's the next day.
Okay.
The second day of traveling west.
Day 7, travel normal. I'm gonna try and hunt something.
Make a survival check.
Right in the middle of buttfuck nowhere next to a river, so I'm saying I'm fishing.
You have fishing tackle?
Yes.
Then you're fine. Go fishing. Survival check.
14.
14 is more than enough to catch a few fish. More than enough to catch a few fish.
Woohoo! Fried fish.
The second day, though, aside from traveling, is raining. Nothing dangerous.
Cold?
Just a nice cold rain. Do you have anything that'll help keep your character warm, or at least dry? It's about 6 to 7 degrees raining, so it's a nice cold rain.
And that's the day I'm supposed to be giving a fish to you, correct? Or is this the... That is why I put the other piece of eraser in there. Whew. Okay, so this is after I've caught the fish, the next day. Or the day I've caught the fish.
It's raining the day you catch fish.
Yeah, okay. So,
Do you have anything in your character equipment that will keep you warm or keep you dry?
yeah, I have a winter blanket.
That'll help keep you warm. Finding sufficient cover, though, adjacent to the river is difficult. And you're long past going and turning back towards Thundertree. By the time you would even get partially across the river, the rain will be done. There's no point other than just toughing out the rain.
I'm a dragon. I have hide.
But that night, there's an issue. Your passive perception, if you take a look at your character sheet underneath your proficiency, you should see a category called passive perception.
Yeah.
What's the number?
13.
It's above 12. That's all I cared about. Passive perception is just your ability to, without specifically trying to spot or search for something, notice something or hear something. Passive perception is 5th edition D&D's version.
Wisdom or
passive
perception.
Wisdom is D&D 5th edition's version of spot, listen, and search when you're not actually doing so. Usually the game master would ask you what your bonus is and make a roll for it. Now they've just changed it. If it's above whatever your number is, if the noise or the object or whatever has a DC of lower than whatever your score is.
So it depends how observant I am as a person.
Yeah, without specifically looking for anything. They're not being specifically quiet. The rain is for the most part stopped. It's off and on rain from this point forward. But as you're adjacent to the river, it's past the point where you've eaten with the fish that you caught. You can hear and see torchlight and at least 2 to 3 different voices, all in common, but they're too far off to actually make it exactly what it is. The wind is not carrying it sufficiently enough, other than just you recognize common people coming towards you.
I'm snuffing out anything I have that has any remnant of ember.
The sounds in their voice, though, the pitch, the tones, and the fact that they're so far away based on the light that you can see in the distance from their torches, would indicate that they're not happy. Snuffing out the fire embers that you have is not going to take you much time.
Stomp, stomp. Can I ready a spell?
What do you want to ready?
Entangle.
And what do you want to have?
If I ready it and I don't use it, do I lose mana?
No. If you ready it, then what happens is you tell me what you're looking for, and whenever that scenario happens, you cast it.
They spot me and become aggressive.
Gotcha. So you're just going to kind of hold your ground with the spell readied?
Hiding under my blanket. Pretending I'm a rock. I'm a very large 6.5-foot rock.
With scales.
I'm under my blanket. I look like a very large rock.
With scales.
No, you can't see the scales. I don't have any protrusions. Bundled under a blanket. I look like a very weird, tall rock. Kind of.
And let's take a look at Entangle for a moment and see if it's just verbal somatic or if it has a material component.
I have a components pouch, so.
Yeah, but if you have a components pouch, then you need a hand free for that. Entangle is just verbal somatic, so you don't need to have any hands free other than to cast it.
90-foot range, concentrate.
Yeah. They do get closer, and as they get closer, you can hear more grumblings of them in a drunken rage, working themselves up.
What are they saying?
Things akin to, yeah, we're going to get in there, and then we're going to fuck them up.
Which way are they heading?
Towards you. You hear other ramblings of, sick of the druids controlling us. Sick of the bandits. Sick of everything. No more. No more. Another voice going, fight back. We'll show them. We'll show them what's one for. Now, what I need you to do you have stealth as a skill?
No.
So grab a d20 and make me a stealth check. Now, because you don't have stealth as a skill, you're not proficient in it.
My dexterity modifier?
So you just flat d20 with your dex mod, because you don't have proficiency in stealth.
14.
And let's see if the humans can spot you. As they're getting a little bit closer, you hear from one of them, watch it. There's something under there. And it is not a rock. Poof. You hear something in the air. You hear something hits you. Hits your foot. It's warm. You see a light on your foot. As your winter blanket is starting to catch fire.
I'm stomping on it.
So you're whipping out of the blanket and then stomping on it.
Wait, I have entangled still already.
At which point, because you quickly make yourself
I said
known.
wait.
When you whip the blanket and you make yourself known,
I'm
that
using my phone
startles
to hang.
them. And they're getting aggressive because they're startled.
Yeah.
So are you going to let it go off?
Release the entangle, stomp my blanket.
Because of the way the new rules work, you can do one movement-based action and one attack. Or you can move a little, attack, and move a little. So you can cast a spell and stomp. Because stomping is moving, because you're just doing a jig in one spot. So you're casting Entangle on them. Like a group of drunken rabbles, they are all staying together.
Idiots.
20-foot square is more than enough, and they have to make a strength saving throw. Your DC is 13?
Yes.
It appears that one is completely entangled. The other two, however,
Impeded with 2 times by movement?
yeah, their movement is cut in half effectively, because they're effectively on difficult terrain. But I do need you to roll initiative, because that is going to provoke them
Where's
in their
my
drunken
intent?
state. Intent is an inside joke. A long time ago, I made up a D&D 3rd edition character sheet on Microsoft
Found
Excel. And instead of writing Inish, short for initiative, I wrote in Intit. And it took 10 years before someone told me that it was spelled wrong. So it is now an inside joke that it is no longer initiative, it's Intit. So,
18.
you have an 18 Intit?
Intit.
They're drunk, so they're automatically having a disadvantage.
And stupid.
So, one has a 3.
It's not if you have a disadvantage, you have to roll 2 d20s and take the lesser.
You do. 5 and 3.
Oh, I thought you rolled both for it. Never mind.
So he has a 3, and the other guy has a critical failure. He misses his first turn.
What the hell did he do? Face plant in the entangle?
And the guy that's entangled has a 7. So you with an 18 get to go first. As for weapons, pitchforks, sickles, that's it. 2 of them have sickles, one has a pitchfork. What would you like to do?
How close together are they?
They're all relatively close together because they're a drunken group, so partially falling on one another, walking with one another. They're all adjacent. And all you're hearing is, it's one of them fucking druids! Damn magic casters! You can't be trusted!
Breath weapon. I'm not letting them hurt my fucking grove, man.
What's your alignment?
Good.
Yeah, breath weapon. So, this group of 3 drunken commoners
Threaten my grove.
are getting melted with a breath weapon.
They're threatening my grove.
Can you read your breath weapon off for us, please?
Breath weapon, acid, 5 feet by 30 feet, DC 8 plus con mod plus proficiency, mine being 13, 2d6 damage.
So you can easily hit 2 of them if you align yourself properly.
That's why I asked how close they were. I'm trying to make the last one run.
Yeah, you can easily hit 2 of them. Now, are you going to hit the 2 that are not tangled?
Yes.
Or are you going to include one that is tangled?
No, not the one that's tangled, because he's fucked by the tangle.
Okay, so you're going to align yourself for those 2.
Yep.
So
And they fucking lit me on fire, man.
you don't have to roll anything. I do.
Oh.
Because your DC is 13.
I thought I had to roll damage. Either way.
Either way, you have to roll damage, because the damage gets cut in half if they make a saving throw. But it's not bloody likely. A dex saving throw with a disadvantage to get a 13.
Don't fuck with my grove.
So, number 1 has an 8. Number 2 actually has a 13. He takes half damage. So, 2d6 damage, please.
6 plus 6.
So 12 damage. Okay, so the one that's taking half damage takes 6 damage. He has 4 hit points, so he's immediately dropped to 0. Technically -2, but this game system doesn't have negatives. So he hits the ground and is engulfed in the entanglement of the spell that you've cast. Most of his skin is starting to melt off of him, including a good chunk of his upper body clothing as well.
At least it's a quick death.
He's not dead. He's unconscious and melting.
You said it was negatives.
Yes, but he has to fail 3 rolls.
Okay, he's unconscious then.
He's dying. There's a chance he will not wake up. However, the one that failed is taking 12 damage. He only has 4 hit points, leaving 8 damage left over. Now,
he insta-dead?
Now, the way the new rules work is if you go below 0, massive death happens if you take an amount of damage in the negatives equal to your maximum hit points from the one singular hit. So the hit that takes him to 0 was this hit. With 8 damage left over, he only needs to get 4 extra damage. There's still 4 damage on top of that. You not only melt his clothing, you melt the flesh off his bones and the muscle. All that's left is the melting muscle and sinew and organs. He doesn't even get a chance to scream because he's dead on impact. The other human, however, makes his morale check and actually just gets angry that you melted his friend. And critically fails his strength check to break free of the entangle, so he's stuck for another turn that he can't break free from. So next turn he doesn't get a roll. He's just cursing at you and spitting and crying out in agony. You can see tears starting to run down his face from watching his 2 friends melt in front of him. So, life or death roll. It's a 14. That's 1 for life. What are you doing?
What weapon does that dude have that's stuck?
The one that's stuck? He's the one with the pitchfork.
A pitchfork is not gonna fucking hurt me.
A pitchfork will do a d4 damage to you.
Tank.
He hasn't hit you.
No, I know, but I mean, it would just... It'd be a piss off.
It's not a threat.
Walking up to him with my scimitar drawn.
You will get stuck in your own entangle if you do so.
Seriously, that's new. That's fucking stupid. How did it draw a second row? Fucking...
Because the spell just grabs anything.
Okay. Walk to the edge of my entangle.
Okay.
Scimitar exposed or drawn. Fork over your...
This is why you can't be trusted! As he's spitting and yelling, he's so angry and infuriated and scared all at the same time.
Fork
the smell of fecal matter is very prominent right now.
Fork over your shit. Not literally. You promise to leave my damn grove alone. And I'll let you go.
I would rather watch you all die. I'm gonna burn that forest down. We're gonna raid it. We're gonna take it to the goddamn cinders. You fucking melted my friends. As he's just spitting, he's so pissed off.
Your friend set my foot on fire.
Life roll for this guy. That's a death. And he's gonna try to break free. He does not break free. He does not seem like he wants to negotiate or converse with you. He's annoyed, he's angry, he's scared, he's frightened, he's watching his friends die.
It was an instant death.
It was an instant death. You melted one of his friends.
2 of them. I melted 2 of his friends.
One of them is on the brink of death.
How far away is he from me?
He's inside by about a good 3 or 4 feet.
So I could reach him with a distance.
If you had a distance weapon, yes.
The spare the dying, is that a touch?
Yes.
I put it through my druidic quarterstaff?
Nope.
Yeah, I'll take it. Spare the dying instantly stabilizes them, right?
Spare the dying instantly stops them from dying.
He will be in some pain.
Yeah, considering he's melted, but he would live. His injuries would not kill him. He'll be horribly scarred for the rest of his life. He'll have a heavy hatred for all types of druids and spellcasters, I would imagine, considering one of them melted him.
Or would that just be a dragon hatred?
It could account to that as well.
I'm a moody dragon, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna walk in and spare the dying on him. Because the other guy's still fumbling
Well,
around.
it'll take you 10 feet of your movement to actually get to him, as well as you have to make a strength check. A strength saving throw. So grab a d20. Now, under saving throws, do you have the word yes listed next to your to strength? So you don't have a proficiency in it, so you just get to add your strength modifier.
17.
17? That's above 13, so you're fine. And you can get to him, and are you casting Spare the Dying?
Yes. Wait, can I do that on the defensive?
They don't have on the defensive anymore. You do not provoke attacks of opportunity whenever you cast spells, even if things are right next to you. Stop hitting the wall. The neighbors will get pissed.
No, they're moving out in 3 days. I don't give a fuck.
So even if you have people right next to you and you cast a spell, you don't provoke attacks of opportunity. So that's a good thing. Makes it easier to cast spells. A lot less mechanical. So, touch. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. He's now stable and screaming in agony because he's melting.
He's not melting anymore.
Not anymore, but he's got a significant amount of damage on him.
Look at the other one. Run.
He will attempt. He finally makes the saving throw. He will break free and move the 30 feet distance from there. He will move forward past you on an angle for about 10 feet, and then remaining 20 feet, he'll move, take another move action to his other action to do a dash, getting another 30 feet.
He's running away.
Thus, getting 50 feet from you in total.
He's running away.
Yeah, he's leaving. He didn't even take his pitchfork. The other guy is just in pain. He's just wincing, and he's at that. His body's in shock at that point where he can't recognize what's going on, other than the fact that he's in agony.
He's drunk. But probably not drunk anymore. Cure wounds. 4d8.
Do you have the mana for it? You've cast Entangle. Spare the Dying is a cantrip, yes?
Yes.
So that doesn't cost anything. And you're casting Cure Wounds?
Yes, and I haven't slept for the night yet, so.
So 1d8 plus your ability modifier, so it should be 3.
So roll this.
I don't think there's any saving throws for Cure Wounds.
Well, it's not like he can fucking make it right now anyway.
You can easily touch him. He's not resisting. He's not going to try to dodge or anything. So it's just a d8 plus 3.
8.
That's a d12.
Oops. Sorry. Thank you for noticing. Same number.
8?
Yep.
Plus 3?
That is the...
Oh, that's with the plus 3? He only has 4 hit points, so he's fine. He gets healed. The damage that was done instantly heals up because his body hasn't had a chance to actually heal the wounds yet, and thus for create its own scar tissue, which is the new skin. Because the body has not done that, when you're curing the damage repairs the skin that should be there. And at this point, that is normal skin because it hasn't created that new scar tissue.
The only way I could remove the scar tissue is if I subsequently cut scar tissue out and then healed it.
Yeah. But if you didn't get all the scar tissue, then it would heal back scar tissue where that scar tissue should be because that's the skin that's there. using a little bit of logic with the way magics would inevitably work. He's fine. He stands up and tries to skitter back from you as much as he can because you fucking frighten the crap out of him. Hasn't been a minute. He doesn't get caught by the entangle.
Well, the entangle probably down by now.
Not unless you drop it.
But it says concentrate.
Up to 1 minute.
Okay.
It's only been 3 rounds. So you still got time. Lots of time. As he scampers out of the entangled area and just immediately starts booking it as fast as he can with his friend.
Towards my grove?
No. Away from your grove, probably towards where their few hovels are, where they live. He's just fucking running for his life.
You're welcome. Yeah, I know. I originally caused the pain. Shut up.
What are you doing? You have no more spells left.
Loot in the body.
The melted body?
Yeah.
The body that does not technically exist because you completely melted it?
I was trying to see if there's any coins that dropped, okay?
The coins have been dissolved if there were any in there.
Don't know the wrong stuff. The guy left his pitchfork.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one that was melted.
Shut up.
The guy that is melted has nothing left other than this weird amorphous blob of clothing that was at one point one uniform shape. Now it's just this amorphous blob. You can tell he probably had some metals on him, i.e. coppers, but they've long been melted altogether.
I'm using a pitchfork to dig up the earth to bury the fucker.
It's going to take you a little bit of time.
Right next to the water, soft earth, not too bad.
Not too long, but I take you just giving him a shallow grave.
Yeah. He lit me on fire, man.
He tried to accidentally light you on fire. There's a difference.
And I tried to accidentally melt him.
Yeah. And you succeeded.
So did he. Mine was more effective.
You have a fucking once-a-day breath weapon.
Yeah, I'll recharge soon. I'll go to sleep.
And is that all you're doing for the rest of the night?
Yeah, bury the fucker. Sleep. You know, nothing. Nothing fancy.
You can mark on your sheet 20 experience.
Why are you getting it to me now?
Because it's just easier
Oh.
since you're by yourself and you haven't enlisted any NPCs with you. Because if you enlist NPCs, they would gain experience if they help in battles and such.
He's written my grove, okay?
No, you did the right thing. I would have done the same. Definitely would have done the same. But aside from some more rain, 2 days later, the rest of the travel along the riverbank towards Neverwinter is clean sailing. No other hassles, no other incidences. Just the 2 days later, some more rain, and that's it.
I'm replenishing my good berries considering I wouldn't have the mana to do it that night.
Yeah, but that's why you also have food. Like regular food. And rations. So the days that you don't have access to your good berries, you still have access to food.
I have hair. I would have gone through the second one by the time I get to thingy.
It's still recording. It's sitting at just over an hour. This is the whole introduction that most game masters just skip over. They just brush over it. I don't understand why. It confounds me. But you do see Neverwinter coming into view slowly. Based on time, you can see Neverwinter in the distance as it'd be coming on to the time where you would want to stop to make camp. So if you shove on for another 2 hours, you'll get there.
Yeah,
You're at the top of a hill overlooking it. So it'll take you about 2.
take advantage of my fucking free warm house bed thing. Food.
It'll take you only about 2 hours. You're already in the evening, but 2 hours is not bad. and you don't have any luck at all.
Seriously.
Yeah, you shove on for those 2 hours. Huzzah! However, those 2 hours are not uneventful.
Yay.
Yay is right. As you're getting closer towards Neverwinter, your passive perception is 13, yes?
Yes.
That's enough. Off to the side, not far from you, coming around from a small farmhouse, an unlit farmhouse. From the looks of the overgrown lawn, this farmhouse hasn't been occupied in at least a couple of seasons. You do see something come from around behind it towards you. At the moment, does your character have any type of dark vision or anything?
Where would I find that?
It'd be in that center column where it says race and class features or feats.
Druidic spellcasting, damage resistance, dragon ancestry.
So you don't have dark vision.
That doesn't seem right that I wouldn't have it.
You don't have dark vision.
I don't?
Nope.
One sec, I have Dragonborn up, so let me see. And now that I don't trust you, I guess. Dragonborn traits. Oh, I can automatically read and write Draconic and stuff.
Yeah. That's why Draconic is a language of yours. Because it's about 150 feet away from you, you can't actually make it any details other than a average humanoid, human-esque height
That's helpful.
person coming towards you. Elves can be as tall as humans if they're on the tall side. Half elves, half orcs, humans, orcs.
How wide is this thing?
About as wide as a half elf, human, elf.
So it's not like obviously orcish.
No. Its girth and broadness of shoulders don't signify that as it's coming towards you. You can attempt a perception check, however, if you want to see more. So, do you have perception as a skill? Which means you don't have the proficiency in it. So you would just use your standard, I believe, perception defaults to wisdom. Let me just double check.
Unless I'm missing something. Because I have next to that yes written in wisdom.
Yeah, that means if I ask you for a wisdom saving throw, you get to add your proficiency bonus because you're proficient in wisdom saving throws. And perception is wisdom. So just grab your wisdom modifier and roll and add a d20 to it.
15.
That's enough. Despite the fact that it's 100 and some feet away from you and it's nighttime, you can make it enough of its surrounding edges of its silhouette to determine a general idea.
Mm-hmm.
With its gait, its walking pattern,
I know what gait is.
its body language, hunched shoulders, it looks injured. And it's trying to come towards you, but it's not moving at an increased speed, no more than 2/3 of what it should be for a person of that size. And it looks like its leg is badly injured.
Do I smell blood?
You don't have any increased sense, so no.
I don't know if the wind's blowing towards me.
You don't pick up any unusual sense off the wind, other than what looks like an obviously injured human trying to get towards you as quick as possible. Based on the way the body language is going, the leg is going, the way it's walking.
I'm grabbing a tree branch out of my bag and ready and pummel.
And the circumstance to use it?
Considering I can launch it up to 30 feet, whatever it is becomes aggressive.
Whatever
if it's going, help me, I'm not going to fucking throw it at it.
Yeah, so if it becomes aggressive towards you, that's all you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. It continues to move towards you. It increases its speed, though, after it gets about 100 feet from you.
Because it sees me.
Because it finally is able to see you. So it
Is the limp
increases
still
up
there?
to, yeah, it increases up to 40. So instead of going into a full-blown run, it's just doing like a double move. So it's only moving at about 40 feet per round as it has a obvious heavy limp. Looks like the leg has been badly injured, if not broken, the way it's dragging the foot. So it goes from 100 feet to 60 feet. It's still nighttime. Still trying to come towards you. Hasn't made any calls for help or anything yet. Just going to keep you ready to action.
Yep.
It goes from 60 feet to 20 feet. At which point you do see this partially rotted, slashed to shit, partially eaten, undead zombie human rushing you as fast as it can.
Yeah,
it gets
that
about
fucking,
20 feet.
that branch is fucking
It's
getting
one
launched.
good arm that hasn't been mangled from what looks like a bear attack. Half of its head is hanging off.
Ew.
You can see the skin.
Ew.
The whole side of its mouth here has all been ripped right off from what looks like a bear strike here.
Ew.
All the skin is gone, exposing the raw bone as it's going.
Yeah,
Trying to get at
obviously
you.
it's aggressive. I'm launching the fucking
It
stick.
looks like the tendons or something here has been damaged because this arm is dead because as soon as it gets about 20 feet from you and it knows it can actually attack you next turn, it lifts this arm and tries to do something with this shoulder, which looks like its muscles tried to lift its other arm, but have been damaged to the point where it's just this limp, wasted piece of flesh as one arm extends. But it has become aggressive towards you at 20 feet, at which point you launch Pummel.
Tree branch thrown 30 feet, 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
So you have to make a attack check. So look at your character sheet. You should see up at the top under your magic section where it says attack value. It's at the top of your magic area.
Spell attack?
Spell attack. Should say +4, +5.
5.
So grab a d20, roll it, add 4, add in your case 5. 1s are critical fumbles, 20s are critical hits.
Obviously.
They weren't in 3rd edition.
14.
14 in total. This hits it without a problem. So you're looking
It gets
at
a dex save, but I'm assuming a shambling zombie doesn't really have much dex.
you have a 13, right?
Yeah.
It has a -2 to its dex save. It rolls a 1 in total.
It falls down.
Its speed becomes 0 until next turn. So let's see here. You didn't surprise it because it sees that you're there, so it doesn't class it as a surprise attack. But you get to do 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Immune to poison, conditional immunity to poison.
12.
12?
Yes. With all 3d6. It's a little better than 6. 6. Yay.
Well, now it goes to initiative. Even if you did get to go first, he doesn't have any movement for this turn. So, roll your initiative.
Okay, I'm going last.
Not necessarily.
I rolled a 1.
That's critical fumble. You're going last. Well, it can't do anything. It has no movement. So, it can't do anything. Except go and do its typical zombie moan. As you hear it echo through the night air.
That's not good. It's summoning more of them.
Might be.
Oh, come on. It's a zombie. They go in hordes, damn it.
Where there's one, there's two. They're like cockroaches.
It's stupid.
Your turn.
What was the thing with my druidic force quarterstaff?
Your druidic focus means if you cast a spell that has a material component, if you cast a spell that has a material component that does not have a gold piece value attached to it, i.e. something expensive like opals, jewels, a certain amount of gold dust, then you don't need to use the component pouch, you just need to have your grip on your quarterstaff to focus the magics through it. What do you wish to do? You have a zombie 20 feet from you. A pretty injured one. It doesn't have use of one arm, one leg is badly mauled.
Its face is kind of fucked.
Yeah, but one zombie is still...
His speed's reduced to 0, he moved.
For this turn, and he got to go first.
Yeah, and he moved 40 feet.
So he can hit you on this turn if you don't move. He's 20 feet away from you. If you don't move, when his turn comes, he'll be able to move again. He'll move and attack.
Cantrips being at will.
Yes.
Does that mean it's like an instant?
Means you can use them every time your turn comes around.
Does it take my action or something?
Depending upon what you want to do, yes.
I wanted to cast light on my quarterstaff and fucking book it.
Light would be your action. Booking it would be your move action. You're allowed to do both. You wouldn't be able to do anything more than a 30-foot move, though. Taking you 50 feet away from him in total.
Still, he went 40 feet the last time, so yeah, it should be good enough. When I get no, quarterstaff still does damage.
Quarterstaff does a d6 bludgeoning damage.
On
You
both
already
sides?
hit. Yeah, but you don't have the skills necessary to use double weapon fighting.
Wake up, you're having nightmares.
So you can only hit with one end of the quarterstaff at a time.
Wake up! Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
God, she was out of it.
Look at the con hanging out.
I see it. You only have the skills needed to use one side of the quarterstaff at a time. So you can't actually do both ends of the quarterstaff. But you've already hit it for 12 damage.
Yeah, the problem is you can't tell undead or dead until they stop fucking moving.
Yeah. You can't see how damaged it is. It's already damaged. So.
How hurt is it? It's dead. Oh, great. No, seriously, it's dead. Damn it. Yeah, so booked it. And light.
So light and running?
Yes.
So you get 50 feet away from it for your turn. And it goes to its turn. It runs after you with its dash speed of 40 feet. It is 10 feet behind you. It will stay 10 feet behind you unless something happens to slow you down. So, do you have intentions on continuing to run away from it and try to evade it?
Yes. Do I get a full run this time then?
Apparently it's always just dash actions.
So how many dash actions can I take?
Just the 2.
So yeah, 2 dashes.
No, like just the one full double dash. So we have to go to the chase here.
If he has 40-foot travel, he's always going to be 10 ahead of me.
Unless something slows you down.
Or him down.
Because you have 30. So you can go 60 to his 40. So you'll gain 20 feet on him every time. Because right now you're at 50 feet and he's at 40 feet. You run 60, it's taking you up to 110. He gains 40. And then he gains 40. And then you gain 60. See what I mean? You'll progressively gain 20 feet on him every turn until he loses interest. Which is good because it just means there's only going to be 1 or 2 actions that could possibly slow you down. So, you're trying to run away from him because you don't want to be eaten.
No.
I can't say I blame you. I wouldn't want to be eaten either. So, where's my chase scene generators? Chart. Chase generator.
God damn, I hate picking up D4s.
Cities, yes, they're little caltrops.
They always slip through my fingers. I go like this to grab them, and it goes, I'm a triangle, fuck you. I'm a triangle, fuck you.
On your turn, when you run, that doesn't work. As you're trying to make headway towards Neverwinter, you actually see coming from in front of you, standing up from the ground, 2 others that resemble him in appearance. As they stand up going,
So what the hell, were they laying down, or did they just erupt from
looks
the
like
earth?
they were just laying down, possibly where they died. And whenever he moaned and howled, alerted them and woke them up going, hey, look, there's food here, in zombie speak.
Sorry, did I kick it off?
Yeah, a little bit. Not a big deal.
Okay.
So, with them coming up in front of you, you have a choice.
Okay. Let that go by. Just in case.
Just in case what?
It's right next to the window. So just in case, it's hearing sirens over us talking.
Well,
okay, we're good.
You have a choice. You can either try to run past them and risk it and continue getting your full 60 feet of movement, or you can stop and the guy behind you will be able to catch you on his 40-foot turn, but they'll be in front of you.
Can I veer?
You can always try to veer, but that'll need a dex save to do it without losing your footing, and you're going to lose speed regardless. You're not a rogue. You're only level 1. You don't have anything that would make you more dexterous. If you roll really good on your dexterity save, you won't lose speed, but you can either stop, try to run past them, because your character is decently strong. You could just try to bowl your way past them.
Oh, sorry, I had two.
Yakety sacks! So, you're going to try to bowl your way past them?
Yep.
Well, as you're trying to bowl your way past them, I need you to make a strength save versus their strength save.
Ooh, I rolled pretty good. 20.
One of them, you kind of bowl past it, your shoulder hits it, and it sends him off kilter, and he smashes right back into the ground. You're now the full distance ahead of the guy behind you. He's now a good 30 feet missing, like behind you. The other one, however, natural 20 on his save, plus his 1, 21. He gets a death grip on you.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously. And with a nice, sturdy death grip because you did not knock him off, he has a grapple on you right off the bat. So, based on initiatives, that was your turn. His turn. Being the fact that he has a grapple on you, and you're running at night, and kind of outnumbered by zombies, I want you to make a morale check for me.
What do I use?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
I have a yes next to that.
Which means you add your proficiency, which I think is just a 2.
That sucks!
So 2 plus your wisdom modifier.
You said just my proficiency.
No, you add the proficiency to your wisdom modifier.
So plus
so
5.
You should have a 5.
I'm good.
Did you get above 10?
I rolled a 19.
You're not going to be at a disadvantage from being afraid. So.
Considering I just melted the guy, I have no fear. Sorry.
He's going to try to bite you.
And
He's going to try to take a big old chunk out of you.
I have no parry abilities.
What is your armor class?
Considering I'm traveling, would I be wearing my armor?
What armor do you have?
Hide.
Hide you can easily wear all day long and not be encumbered by it, so yes.
I'm asking you because you are the ultimate. I can't go, I'm wearing my armor.
Full plate? No.
No.
Any heavy armor? No. You'll overheat and exhaust yourself in a matter of hours wearing that shit. I've worn full plate armor before. That shit is godly fucking uncomfortable. But something like hide, you could easily wear for a day's travel.
So, with my hide armor...
You should have an armored version of armor class up at the top of your sheet.
I do, which is 14.
14? He hits by 1.
God damn it.
3 damage. Nothing too serious.
Oh, we don't have formatting set up on this. Joe, my brain can't math. 11 minus 3 is 8, right?
Just put in current how much damage you've taken.
That's what I tried. I tried to do the format by hitting equals this plus minus 13.
What? What are you trying to do?
I tried to go...
No, just...
Equals
Why do you keep doing that?
Because I tried to get it to do this so I could just remove it.
It'll always keep breaking on you. The best thing to do, I find with this, is just put in 3. If 3 hits 11, you know you've dropped.
I usually reverse it.
Do whatever you want. Like, I just count up. Current is how much I've taken. Max is is the number I don't want to get to. You've taken 3 damage currently.
A bite or a scratch?
It's a bite.
Oh.
And then he's moving you back 10 feet. So you're actually only at 100 feet from your other zombie friend. The zombie you bowled over is taking his move action to crawl towards you, which takes twice the amount of movement because he's crawling, which he can do. And then he's biting you. And because you're prone, you have a disadvantage. So, grab 2d20. Oh, wait. You don't get to roll. I roll because I'm attacking, so I get an advantage to attack because you're prone. So I roll 2 of these, and I take the higher of the 2. That's a successful bite.
God damn it.
For 3 damage.
Again.
You're being eaten by zombies. You roll really unlucky. Encounter dangerous 98.
Fuck. So this most likely will kill you. Oops.
So, other zombie's turn. He's 20 feet away from you. He already moved for his turn. Goes to your turn. Bottom of the initiative.
Are my hands free?
Yep.
How many hit points does a good berry give me back?
1.
Can you double check?
Mm-hmm.
Just because sometimes it's like, oh, between 1 and 4.
It used to be 1. I'll just say that. It used to be 1.
Because I think in what we were playing, it was roll a d4, and that's how many hit points you get back. But that was 3.5.
Good berry. Good berry. Good berry. 1 hit point. You shall heal 1 hit point.
Can I grab a couple of them, eat them, and then fight?
Creature can use its action to eat 1 berry.
Seriously?
I think that's stupid because it takes
what
more
am I
time and
doing?
effort. It takes more time and effort to reach into your pocket.
What am I doing? Oh, I have this many good berries.
Yeah, an example is put a bunch of berries in your pocket, reach in, only grab 1, or just reach in, grab a handful, and then dump them in your mouth.
Not literally a handful, but a couple. Like a
So,
pinch.
you can grab a d4. You can grab 3 and swallow them.
Okay.
So you can regain 3 hit points for your turn.
And can I... That takes my whole action?
That takes your action. You have a move action left, but you're entangled. Well, not entangled. You're grappled.
Can I fight that?
If you didn't want to take the good berries for your turn.
So I have a move action. That's not an attack action, is it?
No. Movement is movement.
Can I kick?
That's your attack. Your attack was eating the good berries. So there's nothing more you can do because you can't move because you're grappled.
Okay.
Goes to all 3 of their turns. The other one, the first one you came across, moves his 20 feet and drops down on top of you and is trying to take a chunk out of you. And because of the fact that he has the advantage, he hits for 2 damage. The first one is going to bite you. That's a miss. Your armor takes it. And the last one is going to bite you. That's a miss. Your armor takes it.
So where are they in position to me?
One is around. One is down around your waist legs. One is up here around your neck, trapezius, head area, and the other one is like right around your shoulder, chest area. Your turn.
Which one's been injured already?
The one that's by your head, because he just got to you and dropped down on top of you and took a bite out of you. You can easily hit him with a breath weapon.
Yeah, that's what I was going. Can
just turn your head and go.
It's my option right now.
Yeah, that'll melt one of them.
So the one that's hurt is on this side, and the one that isn't on this side?
Yeah.
I'm hitting the one that's not hurt.
So you're going to look down at him and go, bah! Okay.
Probably singe myself a bit in the process.
Well, he gets to make a save. 13, yes?
Yes.
That's a heaping fail. So you can roll up damage. Roll 'em up damage. Roll 'em up damage.
10.
10?
I'm sorry, I have to have Benny Hill on. He said
That's
chase
fine.
scene.
It was a small chase. And that's your turn. It goes to all three of them again.
3.
He's not dead yet.
God damn it.
By your head. 5 damage.
Fuck. I'm gonna die.
What are you up to?
10.
The one you melted. That's a miss because of your armor. Run at your legs.
Miss.
That's a miss because of your armor. Your turn.
Thunderwave.
Smart.
I have to knock them back, and it starts at me. Centered in me, 15-foot cube.
That is smart. That is very, very smart. I know you keep that one prepared because it pushes them away from you.
Yeah, I have Thunderwave prepared, Cure Wounds, Entangle, and Pummel.
Yep. 2 good combat, a defensive, and a healing. Thunderwave.
15-foot cube centered on me, 2d8, knock back 10 feet, con save for half.
Thunderwave. What book?
PHP.
Go on with. Thunder Smite. Thunderwave. Here it is. So, do they get a save?
Yes, I just told you.
Yeah, Constitution saving throw.
Con for half.
Yeah.
And not to be knocked back.
On a successful save, the creature takes half as much and isn't pushed, and they get a con save, and they have wisdom saves. So 13 for this con save. Con is +3.
How the fuck does a zombie have wisdom?
It's a proficiency in wisdom. They have a -2 wisdom modifier, but a proficiency in wisdom saves.
That's
so that way they have
stupid.
a flat roll.
Stupid.
One of them is pushed back. Why am I rolling 2? They don't have a disadvantage. Makes it. Doesn't make it.
But he still takes damage.
They all take damage because it's half as much damage. So 2d8 damage.
$15.
15.
I'm down, which means ones get 7.
And this guy gets 7. And this guy gets nothing.
How? The save still
yeah, that's right. He
half.
still gets half. So he still gets 7 damage.
And the rest get 15. You said 2 didn't make it, didn't you?
So I have to make a check for something here. All 3 of them, or 2 of them get pushed back 10 feet. The one that you first saw, the one that dropped on you and hit you here,
He did.
He's at a few hit points left. Doesn't get pushed back. The 2 fresh ones each take damage and get pushed back. So
he took damage too.
He did.
He's still moving.
Yes, he is.
Fucking hell!
But not by much.
Yeah, when he bites me, I'm dead. Does he have a grapple on me? Or he just...
The guy that has a grapple on you, you push back. So you're free to move as soon as your turn comes. And he's going to try to bite you.
Please don't bite me. Please don't bite me. Please don't bite me. Please don't bite me.
No successful bite.
Yes!
The other 2, however, are crawling towards you and biting each. 1 successful hit.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
3 damage.
I'm dead.
Not quite dead yet.
I'm -2.
So, that was their turn. It comes to your turn. Roll a d20 for me.
See if I'm unconscious. I rolled a 20. Here,
That's
check.
no, that's fine. That's 1 success for living.
I can't move.
And this is where I shall roll a little bit of luck to see if you have any luck on your side, considering how close you are to Neverwinter. That'll work. Your character wakes up. Oddly enough.
What happened?
On a cold, hard stone slab. It's daylight. You're bandaged like crazy.
Where's my stuff?
All neatly packed at the foot of your bed.
I don't know how long it's been. I'm grabbing the rest of my good berries.
Your good berries are all still there.
Do they still work?
Yes. A couple moments later, you hear some footsteps coming down the hall outside of the room you're in. Heavy footfalls too.
Do I have any mana due to the fact I slept?
Yeah, you have full magics. You feel a lot better compared to what you did the night before. You hear the door.
Do I feel completely healed now that I have the good berries in me?
Yeah. Every time you have a long rest, you fully heal.
Yes, but I'm bandaged, so the good berries I want to do. No scars! You know what I mean?
Oh, the scars are there. You're going to have scars.
You can't get scarred overnight very well.
No, but your body started the healing process because whenever you have a full rest, a long rest, i.e. a full night, you get full hit points back, but your body would have already started the healing process, so
Started, not finished.
it doesn't matter. You still have the scars.
Damn it. Hopefully they're not bad.
Just some bite scars. Nothing too big.
Nothing I can't dig out with a knife. If I'm really desperate.
To be not scarred. The door handle turns and opens, and you see a partially armored with basically just a breastplate soldier walk in, longsword on his side. It's alive, is it? What's your name, Dragonborn?
Kieran.
Kieran?
Kieran!
Kieran. What were you doing out past dark?
Trying to get here. I think here. Unless I'm dead. In which case it's not here.
You're in Neverwinter.
Then yes, it was here.
You're in the barracks on the other side of the wall.
The hell, just see the light running around in circles?
No, I didn't see anything. The night watch, the guards on the parapets, they saw the light.
Who did, Jon Snow? Sorry.
From what I was told, you were being eaten by some zombies.
Yes.
He comes over, moves your cloak to the side, your tunic to the side, your cloak's over there on a chair, starts to move some of the bandages and takes a look at the wounds. They're healing up nice.
Wouldn't they be gone considering my good berries?
Oh yeah, that's right. You had good berries. You must be a caster. Cleric?
No.
Druid?
Yes.
You're lucky you got as close to the city as you did. He goes down, picks up your scimitar.
Smash.
Put a peace bond on that if you're going to be in the city.
Would he know what a peace bond is?
You have no fucking clue what a peace bond is.
Oh, what did he want? What?
A peace bond. He goes over to your backpack, pulls out a piece of leather thong that your backpack has plenty of to attach things to it.
Yeah.
Can I see your scimitar? You either give it to me or we take it from you. Ties a peace knot on it. You can't draw your weapon quickly or easily. That's all it is.
What about my quarterstaff?
staff is just a walking stick. We care about bladed weapons, axes, morning stars, swords. Welcome to Neverwinter. Hopefully you fare better today than you did yesterday. As far as I know, we don't have a zombie problem yet.
I'm suspecting the thunder wave and the light alerted somebody.
Yep. Smart casting those spells to get the attention of the Night Watch.
I try. Do I owe you anything for bringing me in?
No. We're just guards doing our job. I'm Brand.
Hi, Brand.
You should be careful in these areas. There's orcs around, zombies.
I noticed.
There's a couple bands of gangs running around as well.
I noticed that too.
It's not a safe area right now. Take care if you're traveling on your own.
Not traveling on my own. Just had to get here.
Well, welcome to Neverwinter. It's approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You've been out since we brought you in late last night.
Do I need to meditate for my spells?
You get them in the morning.
Just inherently.
I will double check Druid, but as far as I know, you don't have to meditate. You have to meditate to swap your spells. Like if you want to switch one spell out for another that's not prepared.
Call me blasphemous, but I prefer 3.5.
Why?
It takes effort. It's not like, oh look, you rolled a 10, you made it.
3.5 is a lot more mechanical.
I like having the abundance of skills. I like having all that stuff, and
Technically, you still have all of the skills. Just you don't have skill points.
that's what I mean. I miss that. So it's like really fucking customizable stuff.
This is just really stripped down and bare bones.
I'm an artist. I don't like bare bones.
This is reminiscent of 2nd edition D&D, so I actually kind of like it. And
Oh, 1 second. Wake up. Wake up.
is she having another nightmare?
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, but there you go.
Wow, is she ever out of it?
Look at your eyes are open now.
And no, you don't have to spend an hour.
Look at the derpening.
Wow, she is so zonked. You'd think we drugged her or something.
No, just sleepy dog syndrome.
You don't have to spend any, an hour or anything like that to prepare them. You just have to get up and go.
What do you do? Okay.
So, what are you doing?
Heading towards the tavern. Well, ask him to go. Where are the taverns?
All over the place. You're in the city. What tavern? Just any old tavern?
Trader's Arm. In.
That's near the entrance. So you're kind of close to it. Out the door, go to the main road. You'll see it when you get outside. Once you're on the main road, go down 4 blocks, and you should see it when you look to the left.
Blocks?
Groupings of houses separated by roads.
Okay.
Each grouping of houses separated by road is a block. Go down 4 of those, turn to your left. You'll see the Trader's Arm Inn.
Okay.
As soon as you walk outside, you're bombarded with noise, smells, and not the good kind, and bustling. There's more people around here than you've ever conceived of seeing in one spot at one time. You're in a metropolis of 30,000 people. It is beyond busy compared to what your character's used to. people trying to sell their wares, so there's lots of haggling. There's lots of merchants screaming at you, yelling at you, trying to get your attention to sell you something.
I'm keeping my hand on my scimitar and showing my coins on my front.
Okay. And making your way down 4 blocks, just like you said. Once you go down 4 blocks,
groupings of houses separated by roads.
And you look to your left on the road, and you can see the Trader's Arm Inn. Big old sign hanging above a door.
I'm walking in.
You walk in. The downside part of the inn is a small tavern. Doesn't look like it serves food. Looks like it just mainly has ale and some drink. But it's got a few people kicking around at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a small bard in the corner. Looks like a gnome or a halfling, playing an instrument for a little bit of coin. There's a hearth going because the day is a little bit on the cool side like the rest of the weather has been. Specifically around 5 to 7 degrees at the moment with clear weather. A couple people sitting at the bar, what looks like a half orc and a couple humans. And you quickly spot a guy in ringmail sitting at a table with a couple of others. Exactly what you were told to look for. Looks like the one that's missing is the one that wears hoods and robes like you that dresses in blacks and blues.
So warlock.
That would be the wizard. The wizard dresses in blacks and blues.
You said the warlock, right?
No, the wizard.
I wrote it down.
But you see an obvious archer, guy in ringmail, and an obvious tiefling, all sitting at a table with a few drinks.
Yeah, I'm walking up to that table. I'm ripping off what's left of the bandages on me.
When you get to the table, the ringmail guy has a big-ass shield sitting next to him. It's just a large steel rectangle shield. Ringmail on, looks like a great sword hanging off his back and a long sword attached to his side from a standard frog. Helmet is on the table. It's a full great helm, full face covering, complete protection. You see what looks like an elf, except for the fact that he's got a bandana covering his entire face on one side. From the body shape and the ears, you can still tell that it's an elf, but he's not a very attractive one. He looks more like a human. He doesn't have the elvish, typical high bone structure, slender face. He doesn't have the slender chin. He's got like a human-style chin, human-style cheekbones. He looks like a half-elf, but
or a really ugly elf.
A really ugly elf. And he's got what looks like, from kicking out underneath the bandana on one side of his face, and on the side of his neck that you can see before his clothes covered, his what looks like leather armor, is obvious birthmarks or some type of an injury on the right side of his face and body. And a bow on his side that's hanging off the side of his chair.
Or tattoos or something.
Oh, no, on the other side, on his left side, you can actually see the remnants of a tattoo coming up onto his neck. Looks like vine and leaf work. The tiefling is a typical tiefling, horns protruding from his head, brownish hair, reddish eyes, reddish skin, wearing brown pants, a brown and such jacket. Looks like he has some type of an armor on. Nothing fancy for armor, though. Looks like just typical studded leather armor. A spear hanging off the side of his chair, mace hanging off his side, a couple daggers in his boots. Nothing too fancy.
I just put a stereotypical geek thing there. I was my nailer.
Does have a tail, a couple horns off his head, wearing gloves. The archer has got his typical archery gloves, the kind that just covers the 2 fingers.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They come up the forearm.
Yeah.
Elf
looks over at you. Bazant, I think we found our druid, the last person of our little party.
Where's the other one?
Same place he always is, from what I was told. In his room reading, you hear from the elf. Damn wizards. You see from the obvious fighter, square jaw, very pronounced mandible, high forehead, big brow ridge. Very, very atypical, like very, very typical looking man, but ruggedly handsome at the same time.
Oh, great. I'm traveling with Captain Hammer.
Yes, effectively. Pheasant. You?
Kieran. I'm laying on my side.
Shakes your hand.
He's not a retard. He didn't just limp wrist.
I'm very happy to be traveling with a Dragonborn. I like your kin.
Thank you.
Strong, good in battle, determined.
Attacked by zombies.
Got attacked by zombies on the way here? Yeah. You hear from the tiefling, you're lucky to be alive. I got attacked by bandits on my way here.
3 zombies.
4 bandits.
Well, there was also 3, I'm assuming gang members, but...
Did they get you? You hear from the tiefling?
No.
No, the zombies.
Yes.
How bad?
All I remember is passing out.
Took an arrow in the gut. Lifts up the armor and shows you he has an obvious scar and a wound that's still healing over. And a couple slashes on my chest.
Pass the remnants of the good berries to him.
I'm fine now.
No, just take them.
Grabs a berry. What is it?
Several of them. Just eat them.
You hear from Bazin. Eat the damn things. Those are the good berries for you.
Did you fart?
No. That was you.
Oh, go away, stinky dog. Yeah, that's not in-game farts. That dog farts. You got bad farts. Go away. You
Eat the berries. Huh. A little bland and tasteless, but oddly full. First small campaign I was ever on, I actually ended up traveling with a druid. Fed my whole little team. Every day, that's all we ate. We were able to save our rations.
That gets bland.
You tell me, but it's full nourishment. Better than eating rations for a week.
So what have you guys been eating?
Well, since we're here in town, I've been eating standard food. Soups, breads, cheese. Got some ration packs whenever we head out. I was told we were traveling with a druid, so I'm assuming you're going to supply good berries when possible.
Rummage bag, pull out hair.
Or actual meat. I'm okay with that.
And
Hear from the
bones
elf. I can hunt as well if necessary.
Yeah, it's hard for me to take shit from a distance.
That's something I can do in spades. Sit. The elf kicks a chair out for you.
Sits.
When are we leaving? We were told it's up to you.
I was told it was up to you. I was told only if I made poor time do I have 1 night's worth of stay.
Well, I got my 5 gold out of the dwarf. I'd like to get more. Hear from the elf.
Does that dwarf have an attitude problem with you guys?
You hear from Bazin. Not with me, but I know Sildar. You hear from the tiefling and the elf. Yes. I don't think he likes anyone that's not a human or a dwarf. You hear from the elf.
Isn't that kind of racist, considering he's not standardized race?
What classifies as a standardized race? You hear from Bazin.
Shit you find all over the place. Elves, humans, dwarves.
You hear from the tiefling. Anything that's not us. Because the tiefling kind of puts his hands out. We're anomalies.
Pointing at me and him.
Yeah.
You think that's bad? I'm like the only fucking dragon in my grove.
Your kind's about as rare as mine. Well, you hear from the elf. I would like to leave today. It's only 2 in the afternoon. If we take off now, wagon's already ready to go. All we have to do is...
Isn't there 4 wagons?
4 wagons.
Does that mean we each get a wagon?
They're all ready to go. We just need to hook up the horses to them. I can go take care of that now. They're up back.
Somebody go get the wizard.
I'll go get the wizard. You hear from Bazin. You guys get the horses saddled and ready to go.
I'll be right back. I'll meet you at
Elf goes
stables.
upstairs. Bazin and the tiefling go out. Or Bazin goes upstairs. The elf and the tiefling head out back.
I'm heading towards the tavern.
Tavern's across the street.
No, the bar itself inside the building.
Oh, the actual bar itself?
Yeah, you said tavern in the building, so...
Yeah, you can get to the bar. Human sitting behind the desk.
Strange question.
I'm a bartender. I hear lots of strange questions. What do you need?
The guy that sent us here said that as soon as I get here, he's booking for 1 more night, which means he's paid in advance, correct?
druid?
Yes.
That'd be Dragonborn druid from the woods, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You have a night here.
How about we trade out some good food to take with us for the money he already gave you, since we won't be holding up your inn, and you get more profit because we're not going to be in those rooms.
You were paid for one room and one meal.
So why don't
So
you give
I
us
can give
2
you
meals
2 meals.
for all 4 of us?
Not
1 meal for them, 2 for me. Because their room is empty now too.
make a charisma check. Use your charisma modifier, unless you have the skill persuasion.
Nope. 14.
Yeah. I can make you that deal. Push down his rag, heads up back for a few minutes. Half orc looks over at you.
Nod.
Goes back to drinking. Hear from the human. Ignore him. Just half orc. They don't know much. About 5 minutes later, he comes back out with a bag. It's all bundled and tied up. A couple cured meats. Some bread. A little bit of cheese. Should hold you over for a little bit.
Do you have a water skin you're willing to part with?
I don't. Those are expensive.
Turns around.
Your
Anybody
character
in
has
here?
one.
What?
Your character has one.
Yeah, I know, but I want to use my only water skin for what I'm asking for. Turns around. Anybody in here have a water skin they're willing to part with for gold?
And the little thing in the corner. Everything's always up for sale if it's the right price. See the little gnome
Because
come
water
over.
skins are usually a gold a piece, aren't they?
I am checking that now for you.
Or is it a silver?
I am checking that now for
Because
you.
obviously my dragon would not make that much of a mistake.
2 silver.
2 silver. Okay.
Everything's always up for sale for the right price. Little gnome comes over. So, you looking for water skin? I just happen to be the rare type of person that seems to have procured one. Still even half full of water, no less. I'll even throw the water in for free.
I'll give you a silver and 5 copper.
How about we call it 2 silver, and I don't charge you for the water.
Water is free.
For now. But I'm sure the lords and someone will eventually start charging you for it.
In which case I will make it. I'm a druid.
Huh. Well, that just throws a wrench in the windmill.
Silver and 5 copper.
It's going to cost me 2 silver to buy a new one. So how about
It's used.
and still in a very good condition, no less. And this is a very rare one too. See, I met a merchant down in Waterdeep a few years back. He had traveled all the way to the other side of the continent, and he picked it up in this rare little village inhabited by mystical fairies. Now, this leather is from there. The skin of those fairies. He cut them and gutted them himself. 5 gold. 4? 2 gold, we'll call it even. 1 gold? 5 silver, and I come along with you and write down your stories and adventures. I'll make you famous across all of Faerun.
In which case you should be paying me to write down my adventures.
1 silver, 5 copper.
Sure.
1 silver, 5 copper. Passes you the water skin.
Hand over the money. That's not what you for my sheet. Walking over to the bartender. How much to fill this with ale?
With ale?
Or something strong. What do you got for spirits?
Got some typical wines.
What's strong?
Dwarvish ale. That's our
Whiskey?
strongest stuff.
No whiskey, no nothing.
We have whiskeys. We have a couple ryes.
Rum or whiskey?
Rum is in abundance. I can easily get you rum. fill this with rum. It's going to cost you $1.50.
I'll give you 2 if you give me a glass now.
Done. Pours a glass of rum for you. Fills up the water skin.
I'm downing the rum.
When you're about halfway through the rum, Bazin comes back downstairs. With him, you see a wizard traveling, blue and black robes, backpack on his side, slung over his shoulder. The wizard. Horses should be about ready to go.
Alright.
Wizard looks young. Probably late teens. No older than 20 in human years. Wizard looks over at you. Jason. I am Jason. What? Water? Back in 1 second, people.
God, that stuff tastes vile.
So,
I had to take the antihistamine because of the drains.
and when you get outside, you can see 4 wagons, covered wagons, 1 horse attached to each one. Each one has a riding station on the horse, like on the wagon itself, so that way you can sit comfortably and control the horse. The elf is already on one. The tiefling is on another.
What are you doing?
The wizard goes over to one. Bazin goes over to the same one.
Where do you go with the wizard?
It's my experience that wizards aren't good at guiding things. They're too distracted by other things. And needing to have their books out and study and everything else that they claim they need to do. There's no claiming.
Okay. Everybody here has a bag. Come here.
They all hop down.
Opening up the bag and divvying out the food that I got. Breaking the cheese.
You hear from the elf. That's going to taste good.
Yeah, I bartered with him. Since we're not staying the night, and the dumb dwarf already paid. Our
You
rooms
hear
are
from the
free.
tiefling.
We can make a profit.
Works for me. I don't mind a little bit of free food. Better than going on rations. That's for damn sure.
So, tonight when we stop, I have a pot. I say, we take some rabbit bones, cook up some meat, throw in a little bit of cheese, and gets ourselves some good stew going.
Considering how cold the summer has been so far, I agree. Having a nice hot meal in the night will be nice on the road. My estimation says it's going to take us about a fortnight to get to Phandelver from here. We'll be slowed down a bit by the horses. If we were on foot, it will only take about 10 days.
I'm looking at the tiefling. You want a pitchfork?
Seriously?
What?
Just because I'm a tiefling, you say...
No, that's not what I meant.
Racist.
Okay, dude, seriously? My great-granddad's a tiefling. Shut up. What? There's a lot of fucked up inbreeding in my family. Crossbreeding, not inbreeding. Well, you never know.
No, I don't need a pitchfork.
Does anybody need a pitchfork?
You just see everyone shake their head.
Look over the barn head. Do you want a pitchfork?
I'll gladly take a pitchfork. You see the kid run over and grab it. That's not a bad one either. Tong, tong. How much do you want for it? No takesy backsies. He runs away.
I don't want a memento from the fucking assholes that jumped me.
Basim looks down at you. You good to take one of the horses?
Walk up to the horse, pat the side of its face. Yeah.
All right, people.
Do we have enough feed for the horses for the fortnight?
Gonna let them graze.
Horses need more than just grazing to feed.
There is some feed, but it has to be rationed properly.
Where's the feed stall?
You can find it. It's not hard.
We're hitting up the feed stall on the way out.
On your way out of town, stopping at the feed stall and picking some up.
Mm-hmm.
How much? Enough for each of the horse for 14 days?
There's already rations, so enough for 10 days.
How much does a horse generally need per day?
Added on top of it's usually just a bit of grain to supplement. Now, mind you, if it's a quarter horse, something that's being worked frequently, blah blah blah.
So I will
this is older times. It'd be a bag a piece.
Yeah.
So a bag for each horse, and there's 4.
Bag is generally how much weight?
5 kilos.
5 kilos is about 10 pounds. So 1 silver per day. So 4 silver a day.
I'll offer a guy gold for how much that gives me.
A gold will get you 2.5 bags. If you're buying all 3, if you're going to buy, he'll give you 3 bags for the 2 gold. Or he'll give you 3 bags for the gold. He's only losing half a bag, but he's guaranteeing the sale.
That'll do.
That'll be enough to supplement so you can get there safely. And you're going to take off as you leave Neverwinter for not even being there for very long, heading towards Phandelver.
Before I leave, gonna take a few minutes and swap out for one of my speak with animals.
Okay.
And cast it.
Speak with animal?
Yeah. PHP.
I just have to get to the magic area and then go down to the S's. Sending, shield, sleep, speak with plants, spare the dying, speak with animals is 1 action to cast it, lasts for 10 minutes. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at a minimum, beasts can give you information, nearby locations, monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You may be able to persuade the beast performing small favors for you depending upon what you ask, i.e. you have an increased ability due to the fact that you're a fucking druid. So, cast Speak with Animal. What are you doing?
Looking at the horses. Everybody paying attention?
Yes. Yep. I am now. Do you have food?
I'm reaching into one of the bags,
I
pulling
smell food.
Yes, I have feed.
I have some food.
Can you
We
listen
just
first?
finished eating, but I am still hungry. You're always hungry. That's why you're overweight. I'm not overweight. He is overweight as one horse looks back at you.
I will give you each a handful of grain in a second. Can you just listen?
I'm listening. How long is a second? How much grain?
A handful. You guys have good hearing, right?
I do. You hear from the one that looked back at you?
You should always stay in the front then. If you hear anything, I'm looking at the other ones, and if you guys see anything that we haven't noticed, stop, whinny, and stomp your feet.
Stomp, whine, stomp feet. Got it.
Everybody got it?
The one that you said should go in the lead starts to head towards the front.
Who's on the top of it?
You. Bazin looks over. You want the lead?
No, I'm giving you the lead. This horse has the best ears.
Trust the druid. Always trust the druid. He hops over onto yours.
Hopping down, grabbing a handful of feed for each horse.
The wizard hops over onto his as well. Stay with the fighter. Wizards are squishy at level 1.
I look up to the tiefling and hand him a handful. Give it to the horse.
Gives it to the horse.
Don't let him bite your fingers.
Nice animal, says he pets it.
Is he on the fat one? That one's always hungry, just as a warning. Keep an eye on your pant legs.
Gotcha. And you take off out of the city.
Listening to the horses go, I'm hungry!
Bazin looks over at you. Kieran, we gotta follow the high road south. Eventually we're gonna find a trail that's gonna lead off, heading east. We don't turn until we get to that trail. Once we're on that trail, there'll be a road, a trail from there that'll turn right, and it'll take us right to Phandelver. So my count, we got with the reduced speed of the horses, like I said, it's going to take us about a fortnight to get there, all in all. So if you can, use your druidic powers and give us the best weather possible. Keep the animals on our side. Last thing I need is something like a bear coming after the horses.
I am not powerful enough yet to control weather.
I'll be able to stay in my armor so long as I'm not walking. As he sits on the wagon, helmet next to him.
Is there any birds around?
There's birds flying in the area, and there's
Looking
not
up.
a lot of trees in this area. All the trees are off to the side.
Looking for one of the birds.
Yeah, you're still within your speak with animal.
Yeah,
The bird will fly down.
Doing that.
Make a handle animal check. Do you have the skill handle animal?
No.
So
No.
just roll your charisma
I have
modifiers.
nature. No. 20.
More than enough. Lands on your hand.
Hi.
I smell food.
You want some feed?
You give me feed, I give you what you want.
What type of bird is it?
I have no idea. You're the birdie in the house. You're on a coastline and a cold climate area. Pick an average bird.
Any form of gull or raptor.
So
Gulls are vastly more common.
We'll say a seagull.
Probably some sort of like albatross or something like that. Yeah. Big seagull, hardy seagull.
Yeah, lands on your arm. What do you need?
Can you follow us for a little bit, fly ahead, and give me a warning if anything is approaching?
How to warn?
Come down to me, squawk loudly.
You feed me now?
I'll feed you every night until you have to leave. When you have to leave me a feather and let me know.
Okay. Feed me now.
Little small handful of feed.
He'll take it.
A little bit of bread.
Takes it happily. Flies off and starts to fly ahead. Now, 2 seconds. I want to deal with the girls. I want to stop that before we continue the road towards Phandelver. But
you're not.
There we go. There we go. That was the introduction. Most people skip over this. Took us going on 3 hours. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned because there's going to be another part, or just click on the next video.